Hello, I'm Rachel from Douentza Garden in Ireland, and you are very welcome to this video all about how to plant gladioli or Gladiolus corms in the ground outdoors, which I'm going to do today in my garden in a bed I have prepared especially. So if you want these beauties in your garden in the summer, stay tuned and we'll see how it's done. If you're new to the channel, you are very welcome to Gardening at Douentza or Douentza Garden, which is my garden here in Ireland. And today we are going to plant these gladioli corms in the border I have prepared already behind. Now, this is a border that has recently been reclaimed, let's just say, from the grass, and anyone who follows my channel will know all about it. There used to be a gorse tree up there. We still have the remnants of it, but it's a position in full sun, and this is very important for Gladiolus corms. Gladioli love the sun, and you do need to provide them with that. Now, this particular border may become overcast as the things that I plant in it become shaded over time, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, and I can always move the bulbs at a later stage. So full sun and well-drained soil are absolute key to getting the best out of these bulbs. So let's open up the packet and see what we have. And I believe there are 10, it says 10 or more gladioli corms in here, and look, they're already sprouting, which is such a great sign. When something is already sending up a shoot, then that's the packet to buy if you're buying it in a store. There are so many beautiful varieties of gladioli to buy. You can choose whatever colour you like, and the grandiflorus group is the one that's been hybridised to produce these large spires with up to 28 flowers on each one. So each corm will produce one spike of up to 28 flowers. So there are a couple of ways you can do this. You need to plant your gladioli corms when you buy them in spring. So you're talking February perhaps in pots, or March and April outdoors in the flower beds as I'm doing here now. If you want a succession, then stagger the planting of your bulbs. So plant a few in March and a few in April, perhaps even a few in February. And then as one lot goes over, you'll have more coming into flower. Of course, this only works for the first year. So if you're digging up your bulbs in autumn, perhaps this is the way you can do it. But if you're leaving them in the ground, as I'm going to do now, that's going to do me no good except for the first year. I'm just going to plant the lot here today. So, as I mentioned, there are a couple of different ways to do this. And one way is to start them in pots. Another way is to plant the corms individually, just with perhaps like a tulip planter or something like that, or just digging an individual hole. But what I'm going to do is to make a kind of trench and to plant these tulips all together in the trench, just spacing them to the right distance apart. And I'm choosing the sunniest position in this particular border for these beautiful, beautiful corms. I wasn't really expecting to find tree roots here, but there you go. So remove any obstructions like tree roots and stones. The corms need to be planted 4 to 6 inches deep. So that's the depth of the trench I'm aiming to dig here. Now, because this is a South African plant and needs good drainage, what I'm going to do is just put a layer of horticultural grit at the base of the hole. And next up, I'm going to lay my corms on this bed of sand. Now, just to get it right, to be sure that we're planting them the right way up. Of course, it's easy if the thing is already sprouting, you can see which end is up. But this is the basal plate down the bottom. That goes down, and the pointy bit at the top goes up. And if in any doubt, don't be afraid to just lie these babies on their side. It won't be wrong to lie them on their side. And this is a general rule of thumb for any bulb. Now, these corms need to be placed about 3 inches apart. Don't be tempted to place them more than 4 inches apart, because if you do, it won't look so great when they come up. It won't look like a clump. They'll be too spaced apart to look good. And now we are going to backfill with earth. You can add in some compost, you can add in some fish blood and bone or some fertilizer, because gladioli are actually heavy feeders. So this is a plant that you're going to have to feed as the summer progresses. Once it gets going and once those leaves come up, you're going to have to feed the leaves to get the best blooms. It is important to remove any stones from on top, because it could be that a shoot comes up here and it's just stopped by the presence of those stones, and we don't want that. And time for a quick shelter from the rain, as always happens here in Ireland. We'll get back to planting up those corms in just a minute. Okay, so one soggy drop later, and the corms need to be marked so that I don't put anything else in this bed and disturb them. And I'm going to do that by placing these peony hoops. Now, some people swear by bamboo stakes to stake their peonies individually, but I do like a nice peony hoop. I think it's great. It may need to be adjusted as the bulbs come up, move back a bit, move forward a bit, maybe even get a bigger one, but I think that's good. That'll do me. And the final thing, of course, is to give these babies a good watering in. Now, don't forget to feed. These plants are hungry and they need lots of liquid fertilizer, or even you could give it a granular feed as you plant, and you will be assured of beautiful, beautiful gladioli flowers in the summer. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll check back for lots more, and I hope that you'll plant lots and lots of beautiful gladioli. Bye!